Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
First carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's got room. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercise before this one, and they're paying off.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, this defense for the Browns, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 49 yards.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Harris is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 24. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
It's not often that you'll find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Browns hit 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw is Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 12-yard line. Off of play action, it's Watson. And it's caught. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Looking to throw, Pickett. And his throw is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Second and 20. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Pickett to throw on first down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
It certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for it. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient, find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, they'll go screen here to Hunt. And out of bounds right around the 20. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
York able to send this one through.
And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Back to throw, Pickett. Pass complete. George Pickens with it.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Rookie to rookie on the hookup there, and it's a first down.
A torn ACL cost George Pickens most of his final season at Georgia, but he did return for the college football playoffs and had an impact. And in his first 2 years there, wow. Led the Bulldogs
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And Brandon, how many times have we talked with these rookies out there, and when we finally hear from them that the game's slowed down and they're able to handle things? Not so far for this rookie, because right now, back-to-back drives, they picked him off. Not college football anymore. He's got to find a way to handle what these defenses throw at him.
After the interception, here's Watson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack.
And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now the ball comes loose. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And so the last three drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number two, maybe they actually have the lead.
That's going to be caught.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Okay, so the personal foul penalty. And those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
They'll give it to Chubb. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on first down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Now Watson going to sneak it. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Deshaun Watson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And some room to run now. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
83 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
To the air on first down with Pickett.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Looking to throw again on second down. Pickett. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
Now Pickett.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Martin Emerson
brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Browns drive about to get started.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
Watson's throw taken in here by Fuller.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The slot man in motion right. They run again on first down. Chubb. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He's got Fuller. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Will Fuller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 104 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On the give, this is Harris. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They hand this off to Harris, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 26. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Pickett. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Harris. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It was Jadeveon Clowney who got upfield for the stop.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah. He needs... And in for the Steelers touchdown. Zach Gentry, a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. This game was really a tussle, seemed like just a moment ago, and now they've got the momentum. A couple of scores on their last pair of drives, and a 2-score lead. I think here now you go conservative, right? Run the football, work the clock.
I don't usually agree with you, but I'm going after it right here. I really put this bad boy away. I wouldn't be afraid to throw it. They've got all the confidence, all the momentum on their side. Go ahead and take your dagger shots and try and finish this one off.
I disagree vehemently. I say run the football, you've got the lead.
Well, let's watch it and find out who's right.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
They get 17 more on that one and another first down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
79 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper, a 24-yard touchdown.
And the Browns are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Third and long for Pickett.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw?
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Carl Joseph. The 30. 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now it's Watson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They run it again with Chubb. And he's got some space here. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 40 yards. And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 2nd and 10, Pickett. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carter. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, A loss is a loss.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 41 yards. And the Steelers get a bit closer. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Makes the score Browns 38, Steelers 28. Chris Boswell, the kickoff.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. So that last touchdown sealed it their part, and then the kickoff there at the end, just a formality to knock the final seconds off and send everyone home.
Yeah, it's awfully nice when you're kicking off late, knowing that even if you give up a big return or a touchdown, it doesn't matter, right? You mentioned the word